Hey guys, it's Brian with Retired at 40. Welcome back. I figured it was appropriate to start a new series since I'm in my new digs and kind of starting a new chapter in my life to do harvest right, freeze-dried food versus the competitors. Seems like ever since the pandemic started, you see freeze-dried food popping up everywhere. You can get it at almost every grocery store. The other day I was at ALDI, which is kind of a discount grocery store, and they actually happen to have freeze-dried fruit. Freeze-dried mangoes, freeze-dried strawberries, and freeze-dried apples. So today we're going to be comparing apples to apples, freeze-dried apples, as well as mangoes and strawberries. We're going to put the Harvest Right freeze dryer with fresh fruits in it versus Simply Nature prepackaged freeze-dried fruit. So in order to make this a fair fight, I first want to make sure that the ingredients are going to be the same. And just by looking at the back of the mango, you can see ingredients. The only thing is mango. Strawberries are the same thing, just strawberries. But then we get to the apples and it says freeze-dried apples treated with ascorbic acid and citric acid. Ascorbic acid that's on the freeze-dried apples, I'm assuming that's just to keep them from browning. So I think what we need to do next is open up these packages and we need to see how big we need to dice everything. We need to weigh both items. Then we need to weigh all of our raw fruits because the weight on these are obviously going to be after freeze-dried. That way we can break down the cost and we can break down the weight after they're freeze-dried. Okay, so let's start with the Fuji apples. I've got a bowl on a scale. It's the weight of the bowl is already figured into the weight. So the apples are weighing in at 1.2 ounces. The bag says a perfect 1.2 ounces. So the Simply Nature ones they do not have a skin on them and they're cut into these thin slices like this. So I have a new kitchen gadget that will keep them thin like this. So you just pop the bottom off of the core like this. You push this down through the core of the apple. And this one I like because you can actually flip it over, you push that down and it pops all your slices out. Takes the core out at the same time. We use this a lot for freeze drying and I'll put a link down in the description for this bad boy. The first strike against the Simply Nature that I see is that they take the skin off the apple. And normally when I freeze dry apples, I leave the skins right on because the skin just kind of dissolves in your mouth just like the apple does after it's freeze dried. And usually I also throw some cinnamon on there. All right, so a couple things I've already noticed. Cutting the skins off of these is a complete waste of time, but I have a hunch that the reason they take the skin off is because they're using second-rate apples. So basically like the bargain bin apples that would have imperfections on the skin or they were weird shaped or something like that. So right off the bat, you're probably already not getting as good a quality apple because they just don't want to waste the apple, so they're using the stuff that was kind of rejected from something you'd buy in the store. And you're wasting pretty much like a third of every apple just by taking the skin off. The next thing is that in the time that it takes to skin these apples, they're already starting to get a little bit browned, which won't affect the flavor. It's purely, aesthetic, but it's something that I would never ever do in the first place. I've never taken the skins off the apples and I don't really see a reason that you would want to. Okay, so we've got basically 1 pound, 7 ounces of apples that are completely skinned, and I'm going to use that for my cost breakdown at the end of the video. I also want to make sure that I'm using a whole tray full because I don't want to waste the freeze dry cycle. I might as well get my money's worth, and it's not going to affect anything else as far as cost. Another thing that's really handy if you're going to start freeze drying is to have a kitchen scale like this one. I'll also put a link to a similar one like this down in the description. And before we go to the strawberries, I'm going to throw these in the freezer and get them good and frozen. Up next is a crowd favorite around here, the freeze-dried strawberries. They're like candy. So again, we got 1.2 ounces. Now let's see how close they are to 1.2. We actually got a little bonus, 1.25. Oh, there it went down to 1.2. So here are the strawberries. I cut them up the exact same way. So about 15.1 ounces on the strawberries. Last but not least, we have some mangoes. And believe it or not, I've never done mangoes before, but I've got a feeling that they're going to be really good. And they're pretty much right on the money again, 1.15 ounces. And just to make sure that we keep everything fair, I'm actually gonna reseal these bags because the freeze dry process is probably gonna be 40 to 50 hours. And in the meantime, I don't want these to get rehydrated in any way. So I'm actually gonna seal them all back up again. All right, here's my first attempt at peeling a mango. Okay, so that was 4 mangoes, and by the time you take the skin off and get the seed out of there, we've got 1 pound and about 6.5 ounces of just the mango meat. So I'm just gonna add the mango to the strawberry tray because I think we can actually squeeze all of it on here. Okay, so we are loaded up with mangoes, strawberries. I had an extra tray. So this tray is gonna have some fresh garden basil on it. So we're gonna let this all freeze solid. And then what's next? Well, we need to figure out how to measure all of this electricity so we can put that into our cost analysis. So I have this nifty little gizmo, and it's very similar to a Kilowatt, which is something that I've kind of promoted earlier. I found this one, it's a little bit cheaper, and it seems like it has a few better options. It's gonna give you the same options that the Kilowatt has. It's gonna give you voltage, it's gonna give you amperage, wattage. You can adjust your cost per kilowatt hour, and then it'll do a running total of kilowatt hours. So I've just got this plugged in directly to the freeze dryer. And when all that stuff is good and frozen in the freezer, then we'll get the freeze dryer started and we'll add that into our cost analysis at the end. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. Also, if this is your first time at Retired at 40, welcome. My name is Brian. My wife and I just retired at the age of 40. We have 2 kids. We moved to the Midwest to live life simple again. We like to cook, we like to grill, we like to freeze dry. So if you'd like to join us on the journey, click subscribe. While you're there, click the bell to get notifications of new videos that come out. And also, give me a thumbs up if you like the content, if you found the video helpful. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm to get this video out to people who want to see this type of video. They look like they're good and frozen. I'm gonna get the freeze dryer started on pre-freeze, and then we will get to freeze drying. First thing I'm gonna do is make sure that we're set to 0 on our kilowatt hours. I'm gonna turn it on. We're gonna go to start, non-liquids, pre-frozen, and that's gonna give us half an hour of kind of a warm-up cycle. Okay, so the machine is good and cooled down now. I know I said I'd let it warm up earlier, but really what it does is it just freezes the machine, gets it nice and cool. So I'm gonna throw these apples in here, as well as our strawberries and our mangoes. And I will see you guys in a couple days. All right, we're all done. Okay, so this took us 32 hours and 55 minutes, so almost 33 hours. So we ended up with 22.43 kilowatt hours. Another reason I like this kilowatt hour meter is that you can put in the cost per kilowatt hour and it will total up everything for you. All right, let's see what these beautiful fruits look like. Okay, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. But first I want to remind you to join the Facebook group. If you're into freeze drying and this kind of stuff interests you, definitely sign up for the Facebook group. We've actually now surpassed 3,000 members, which at that point I said I'm actually going to start doing giveaways. So we're going to do a monthly giveaway. So go to the Facebook group, sign up, and then stay tuned for details on that. So here are our freeze-dried strawberries. And obviously when you freeze dry stuff, it takes a whole bunch of weight out because you're taking all the water out. So these are now 1.6 ounces. So let's make sure, once again, that our store-bought strawberries are 1.2. They are 1.2 exactly. The biggest thing you're gonna notice is the quality. Look at the Harvest Right home freeze-dried versus the store-bought. These look like shriveled up garbage. These look fresh and delicious. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what the fresh stuff looks like compared to the store-bought, and then at the end, I'll total everything up, I'll compare the weights, I'll compare the cost, and then we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. Next up, we're gonna do the Fuji apples. I'm gonna make sure that there are 1.2 ounces in here, and there are. And then next we will try the home freeze-dried Harvest Right apples. All right, how do you like them apples? You know I had to throw a cheesy joke in there. Looks like we're at 3.35 ounces on those. Last but not least are the mangoes. And I am really excited to see the home freeze-dried version of this. Now let's compare them to the freeze-dried, harvest-right, home freeze-dried. Those are at 4.3 ounces. So aesthetically, this is not camera trickery or anything. This is the real deal. These are all the store-bought. You can see that there's a lot less color. They look almost sickly. The strawberries especially, when you compare them to the home freeze-dried. The mango, there's so much more color pop. They're not shriveled up. The apples, they did get a little bit browned because I had to cut the stupid skins off. If I didn't have to do that, it wouldn't be an issue. But you can tell the difference. The Harvest Right stuff just looks plump and crisp and it looks good. And the stuff that was bought in the store just looks kind of shriveled up and gross. And it's really something that you probably wouldn't pay any mind to normally, but when you see the two side by side, you can tell the difference big time. All right, you've seen them side by side. Let's do a taste test. All right, let's just start off with the strawberries and we'll keep the same order going. I'll do the store-bought strawberries first. They're good. They taste like strawberries. Imagine that. The texture seems different. The taste is there with both of them. The texture is so much light and fluffier with the Harvest Right stuff. I'm not sure what it is, but taste-wise, they're about the same. All right, next up are the apples. I would assume that these have a pretty similar taste, but they are both Fuji apples because I know that apples, different kinds of apples taste very different, and they can even taste different just from where you get them from. So again, the taste is very similar. They both have a good apple taste to them. There's just more flavor coming out of the Harvest Right side. Okay, so we're at the mango. The mango is something that it's a very distinct taste, and you would really expect it to pop through in something that's freeze-dried, but it's not really there. This is the biggest difference. It's night and day. This just almost tastes like you're chewing on styrofoam. This actually has the mango taste. I don't know if it's just from the type of mango they used, or I mean, it could be the location or anything about the mango, but I'll get a close-up just so you can see the difference even in the color. Like this is almost white. And look how bright the colors are on the Harvest Right. Okay, we've seen the results. We've taste tested. Now let's get down to the cost breakdown. So we had 22.43 kilowatt hours, and I'm going to divide that by 3 just because there's 3 trays. That gives you 7.47 kilowatt hours times 11 cents per kilowatt hour where I am. That means you're left with 82 cents per tray, and we can use that 82 cents as part of our equation for each fruit. So let's get into our Fuji apples, which cost us $2.38 for 1 pound 7 ounces, which yielded us 3.4 ounces of freeze-dried apples, which would equal 2.83 bags of the 1.2 ounce bags of Simply Nature. If we take our 82 cents in electricity and divide it by 2.83, that gives us 29 cents in electricity, and add it to our 84 cents of material. That gives us a grand total of $1.13 per 1.2 ounce bag. These were $3.99 in store all the way up to $9.99 online. Next up, strawberries. So strawberries were $2.49. They yielded us 1.6 ounces. That gives us 1.33 bags of the store-bought stuff in comparison, equaling $1.87 per bag, 41 cents in electricity because we only used half of one tray, times 1.33 bags. That means we used 30.8 cents per bag of electricity. That gives us $2.18 per bag versus the $3.99 to $9.99. If you found strawberries on sale, you could really save, but the quality of the food difference is really where this one stands out. Mango! I found mangoes 2 for $1 in small town Iowa. That gave us 1.7 ounces of raw mango. That yielded us 4.3 ounces of freeze-dried mango, which equals 3.58 bags of the store-bought. Our electricity equaled out to a low 11.4 cents, and add that to the 56 cents per bag of raw material of mango. That means the winner of the day surprised the heck out of me, and it's mango. All right, well, I think we know who the clear winner is today. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. In the meantime, Mr. Retired at 40, remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next week.